Hi everyone, we are Group 5 and we today are going to have 3 CEOs coming to talk to you about their global management styles. Our first is going to be Lush, our second is going to be Sephora, and our last one's going to be Spotify.
Welcome to our panel today. We have some amazing guests and I would like them to introduce themselves now to the audience.
Hello, my name is Mark Constantine, CEO of Lush Cosmetics.
I'm Daniel Eck, the CEO of Spotify.
And I'm Christopher De La Puente, CEO of Sephora.
Have any of you guys met each other before?
This is actually my first time. I've talked to the Sephora CEO a couple times, but
we still haven't gotten drinks. We've talked about that.
We talked about getting drinks, but yeah, not yet. And Spotify, first time.
Yeah, first time with these guys.
Great. This is going to be an amazing talk and I'm excited to get started. The first question is, what is your global management strategy at your company?
So here at Lush Cosmetics, for our global strategy, we really focus on this idea of empowering our employees. So what we do is we create opportunity for them to be able to be very hands-on with our products. We have animal cruelty products. We don't like to add any chemicals. It's all handmade, and because of that, our employees that we hire are really aligned with our views and what we want as a company. So no matter where we are in the world, we have the same goals in mind, and because of that, we can manage them the same way. We know how they think, we know what they believe in what we believe in.
That's great, yeah. We take a similar approach over here at Spotify. We really focus on empowering our employees, so we give them a lot of autonomy in their work. We basically don't have managers on some level. Most of our employees work in squads for their direct work, and then there's larger chapters that they work under.
Yeah, that's great. That's pretty similar to Sephora's. We like to give our employees a lot of autonomy too. So, we're a really decentralized organization. So, being a prestige beauty brand in 33 countries, it's a lot to manage. So we kind of give the power to each manager at the store to do, what's best for that area, what they need to do for marketing. And kind of similar to Lush, we like to really empower our employees. So there's a lot of room for growth and development. We like to send our employees to Sephora University, so they have the opportunity to start a cashier and then make their way all the way up to like a skincare specialist.
Do you guys find there's a problem with giving too much autonomy to these employees? Do you have any challenges with that?
Yeah, I think that's always going to be a problem when you're creating a brand, especially when you become such a big brand. It's hard when employees maybe get direction from different people that say different things. So it does confuse the employees sometimes. The nice thing about Lush is that we do the main points that we tell them. They know. So when it comes to the smaller things like, I maybe want to design something a little bit differently, or maybe I have a say in how the process goes because I think it's more efficient this way, we give them that autonomy. But when it comes to like the main things, so the main rules and goals, they know exactly what they can and can't do. But I do agree that we have had some problems in the past with maybe employees having a little too much, and we definitely have to make sure that they're being productive.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult to strike the right balance between autonomy and having control over our employees' work. But I think especially for Spotify, being in a forward-thinking and innovative and really adaptive industry, we need to give our employees autonomy, and that's how we get the best product.
So one issue at Sephora with giving our employees a lot of autonomy, I would say, is communication. We've had a little bit of an issue with communication between headquarters and also individual stores. As well as communication, it's also hard for us to measure employee performance. So we did just implement a performance management system. So we're hoping that'll kind of help with that issue a little bit.
That was great. Now, I just want to clarify, do you mean animal cruelty-free products?
Yes, I am sorry. I realized my mistake, but yes, we have cruelty-free products. We do not test on animals, so...
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
That would have been worrisome.
Yes.
All right, our next question is, what kind of challenges do you guys mainly face internationally on a global scale with your company?
For me at Lush, for us at Lush, it's hard to be able to hit every demographic. Obviously, if we're doing a global, if we're a global company, we have to keep in mind that every country is going to be different and they're going to view things differently. So it's just, again, getting our marketing down, definitely knowing what speaks to people, being able to portray it in a way that's politically correct, in a way that people are going to be able to receive it in the best way possible. So I think in general, it's a lot more of a marketing strategy. Again, our employees that we hire kind of all have the same mentality. So for us, we really need to focus on creating marketing that really will be a personal thing for the people that are seeing it.
Some of the challenges that we face internationally is when expanding to new markets, I think we really need to focus on what is in high demand in that market. So, for example, we started in France. In France, high demand is perfume. So when you walk into Sephora, you don't see a lot of makeup, you see a lot of perfume, whereas in the United States, you see a lot of makeup. So I think when we expand, we can't fail if we don't focus on that market.
Yeah, and so with Spotify, we're dealing with a lot of competitors. So it's really important that we identify the right markets to move into so we can get a strong hold on certain global markets before the competitor does. And that can be really expensive sometimes, just to do the research and know where we should establish a headquarters just to really cater to certain global markets.
Great. And the last question I want to ask today is, what do you guys find is the best advice you would give to somebody who's starting their international company and really expanding?
That's a great question, Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
So for us at Lush, and for anybody from personal experience, and for those people out there who are ready to get inside the global world, my biggest advice would be that really focus on the customer. If you get into a certain market and you realize that, they treat things differently here, you just have to be very self-aware, very aware of your brand, aware of what you're doing is going to affect the fact that people are going to look at you certain ways. So the biggest thing is the customer. I mean, if you don't have the customer, then you're not going to have a brand, you're not going to be successful.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think it's really important to just remain adaptable when entering these foreign markets and really trying to localize your service or product to the certain foreign market. So that means just doing research about the local people and their needs and their wants, and then working really hard to fulfill exactly that.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, kind of to reiterate what they said, I think you really need to be open-minded when going into new markets and really need to focus on, your customer wants and needs, and just never forget about your employees as well.
That sounds great. I really hope they take that to heart and use that advice. Thank you for being on the show today, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
I started laughing because you forgot to say cruelty.
Yeah, I started laughing too. You said we have animal cruelty products.
You gotta get them more.
That was good.